Incremental readings. Let's continue the Supermemo course, the Pledge of Expansion. We have seen how to reset the default forgetting index in bulk. Now let's see when this is useful. Here I propose a few cases. First, rather obvious, is when you want to standardize the learning process. What happens if I had set elements, well, items, because forgetting index is just for items. Look, I have one of 20, 13, this is higher than the default, hard-coded 10, the default, that now it's 8, and I have 5. So basically, usually because of branches, I have set different forgetting indexes. So let's say that I want to get rid of that. I want to standardize once again. Everything has the same value. I will use the option. Just as a quick reminder, it's this. Process browser, forgetting index, default forgetting index. Next is resetting after over optimization. I went way extra mile. I overdid this, the night picking. Oh, this is 5, this is 8, this is 7, da 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 da. And this has led me to go to do too many repetitions for something that is not that high priority. But Supermemo is adapting to the requested forgetting index. So you know what? Let me set everything to default. So from now on, in the next repetition, all of the calculations of the next interval will be according to the default forgetting index, not the requested per the element. So at the end of the day is that you avoid the burnout that you do a lot of repetitions at marginally gain or no gain at all, and it just takes a few clicks anyways. Next, this is super niche, but let's say that you are learning some features or you want to mess with some features to understand how it works, and you want to neutralize the forgetting index. So let's say that I'm playing with A factors. Yeah, if I want to fully understand how A factors make a difference in the long term, a few months, I want to nullify one of the other factors that take into place, right? So the less factors I have, the more variables I have, the harder it will be to make a conclusion, to reach a meaningful conclusion. In this case, I can nullify the forgetting index. I put the default to the entire collection. So the only thing I'm doing, for instance, is modifying the A factor. And the last use case could be that from now on, you drastically change your approach with Supermemo. That I have used incremental reading only, and from now on I will do language learning in Supermemo, which is very different because it's less semantic, especially at the beginning. If it's a language, I start from scratch. Then if I transition this to the new material, I'm going to study, so to read, extract, and at the end of the day, make close deletions. Before I start doing close deletions, so I create items, I already modified the forgetting indexes. So even if I duplicate or stuff like that, I will inherit the forgetting index, which is the default. But at the end of the day, feel free to never touch it. If you only use Supermemo for incremental reading, more or less it's homogeneous. So what you do every month, every year, is more or less more of the same, qualitatively. Feel free to not touch it. What I will suggest, if you have multiple collections, change it. For instance, if you have a second collection with language learning, for instance, change the forgetting index to lower on the language stuff. And do your own experiments that you rely on the final drill. Cut the final drill and reduce the forgetting index. And then check the stats. Are you doing more repetitions overall per element, you remember? Is the burden higher? Is the performance increasing, decreasing, or stays the same? Stuff like that. So, but for now, in this video, it's just about the forgetting index. So it can be by itself, as we can see, or because you're doing something else and you want to neutralize it. So you want to have everything default. There's no right and wrong. Depends on what you're doing, what are your intentions, even your preference to some degree. And if you change this, like it was my case, then now I do language learning, I want to modify this, modify that, I stop doing language learning, I don't have those requirements, so I can undo that, pa-pa-pum, pa-pum. Hope it's clear enough. See you in the next video.